What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the 3D quality of the movie Wicked. Now, in case you're not familiar with this movie, it is a new release. It's a musical that tells the story about the Wicked Witch of the West, Ethilda, and her, I guess, what was her arch nemesis in the original movie, Glinda, who, this is the story of their origins, how they met in their kind of like a Hogwarts Academy type setting, how they were total opposites but then eventually became friends. And so yeah, this is the origin story of that relationship and these two characters. It's a really good movie. I was a little skeptical at first. I'm not really one for musicals, but I liked it a lot. It's rated PG. It's got a runtime of 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's 2:39 widescreen, so you will have black bars on the top and bottom. Now, I'm not reviewing this. This is a bootleg of the official streaming 3D copy on Fandango At Home. So I don't know if you knew that, but for those of you who didn't, you can purchase 3D movies from Fandango At Home, formerly known as Vudu, which was from Walmart. I don't know if they have this app in other countries, but here in the United States they do. So the thing that you need to know about streaming it on Fandango At Home is you have to have a good internet connection, and also it's side-by-side 3D, so the resolution is a little bit lower than like a regular 1080p 3D Blu-ray disc would be. It doesn't look bad though. Most of the time I don't even notice that it's lower resolution. It looks pretty good. But if you were to put it side by side with an actual 3D Blu-ray, then of course it would be bad. Not bad, but you would see the difference. Anyway, this is a bootleg of that. I didn't really care for the bootleg too much. The 3D looked exactly the same in my bootleg as it did on the Fandango At Home version. The problem with this bootleg was the resolution seemed really bad, but normally the bootlegs that I get for, and I only get bootlegs for movies that didn't come out on the 3D Blu-ray officially. But yeah, normally the bootlegs that I get are actually really good quality. I just got Mulan, which was streamed on a UK streaming service, and that's where that source came from, and it looks like a regular 1080p Blu-ray. It looks fantastic. But anyway, we're not going to be reviewing the Wicked bootleg. I just wanted to show you this cool case here and show you that there are people out there that have these files that they put onto BDRs. It has some pretty cool artwork. Anyway, let's talk about the version on Fandango At Home though. Like I said, the picture was great. It was side by side. Resolution is a little bit lower than 1080p it looks like at times, but it still looked fantastic. The colors were great. Definitely didn't look as good as the HDR on the 4K version, but it was still pretty good for streaming it in 3D. The picture was bright, didn't have to do any adjustments with my picture settings. Even in the dark scenes, everything looked clear. Let's talk about the 3D. It was shot digitally and it was converted post-production. In the first chapter of the movie, as soon as Glinda says that the Wicked Witch is dead, it goes into this scene where the flying monkeys just jump out the window and they're just flying in the air, and the camera looks like it's going along with them, like as if one of them is wearing like a GoPro or something, so it looks almost like VR-like. Some of the monkeys are pushed deep into the screen, while some of them are just kind of like, actually I should say this, deep into the screen, while some of them are just kind of like hovering on the outer part of the screen, looking like they're just on the outer side of the glass of your TV screen. It looks pretty cool. There's also a scene in the same chapter where Glinda comes to Munchkin Land in her little, bubble-looking sphere thing, and then she uses her wand to pop the bubble. The wand pops out of the screen. The thing that you need to know about the 3D in this movie is that it is mostly all just depth, and I will say that it's very consistent in its depth too, and it's not just like a couple of layers. It's a lot of layers. There's a lot of stuff to give to complement that three-dimensional depth. You're always surrounded by plants or books, book stacks, or bunch of classmates at the school. Just there's all sorts of layers. If you take off your glasses, like I did several times, the picture is blurry as heck. There's so much depth to it. It's not on the gimmicky side with the pop out. The pop out effects are very subtle. And it's kind of nice actually, because since there's not too many of them, you really enjoy them when they do happen. Just like the little wand thing, pop in the bubble, and then the flying monkeys. There's another scene where Glinda is in class and her professor, who's a goat, comes out and he's talking to the class, and his head, every time he's talking, his head just appears to be popping off of the screen a little bit. It's not protruding out too far where it makes you go cross-eyed. It's not like that. It just looks like his head is on the outside of the glass of your screen, which is pretty nice. I like subtle pop-outs like that. There's also a scene where Glinda gets invited to a dance and like a school party, and she's kind of doing her own dance moves, and she puts her hands out like this, and when she's like that, she stays like that for a few seconds, and her hands are popping out of the screen at the viewer, and this time it does pop out a little bit further. There's also a scene where she's in class and, you know, she's getting upset about something, and whenever she gets upset, you know, she can't control her powers, and so the flowers in the room start to levitate, and there are these poppy flowers that, if you remember in the original Wizard of Oz movie, they make Dorothy fall asleep. Well, that's what they do in this movie. You know, her whole class falls to sleep, and this scene is really spectacular because the flowers look like they're popping off the screen too, while the rest of the classroom is pushed in, and there's lots of depth there. And then finally, I'm going to end with there's the scene at the end where she finally gets her broomstick, and when she's holding it for the first time, she's holding it out like this, and the end of the broomstick is popping out of the screen at the viewer. It looks really cool, and I was thinking to myself, this is really nice. You know, it's a decent amount of pop out. I bet it doesn't get any better than this, though. Wrong. After that, she takes flight, and that's probably my favorite scene in the whole movie as far as the 3D goes. As I said, the depth is sensational, but there's lots of pop-out scenes with her flying on that broomstick. So, one of my coworkers told me that when I rate movies, I need to stop using a 5-star system, and I need to start using what he called, I can't remember what he called it, but he said there's S tier, which I guess would be like perfect, and then there's A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier. I don't understand what the point of S tier is. I guess S tier would be for like a 3D movie that has no flaws at all and it's 3D. I don't know too many of those. I could probably name a couple of them, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Anyway, the point is I'm going to try to do this whole tier thing that he's talking about. For this movie, I'm going to give this an A tier for its 3D. Not an S tier. It's not supreme, perfect, showcasing for your friends tier, but it's A tier. I think it's awesome. It's got wonderful colors. It's always bright, even in the dark scenes. It doesn't suffer. You have consistent depth throughout the entire movie. There's never any moments where I could take off my glasses and the picture would look 2D. No, I mean, it is blurry throughout the entire thing. And like I said, the pop-out effects, they weren't gimmicky, they were subtle, and I kind of like that, to be honest with you. It's okay to have like a gimmicky pop-out every once in a while, but I prefer the subtle ones. And yeah, I think it looked spectacular. For the audio, I can't say anything about the audio, guys, because like I said, I was streaming it through the Fandango At Home app on my TV, and I don't have my TV plugged into a surround sound system up here, so I can't say anything about that. I mean, on my TV, the dialogue sounded clear, the music sounded great. My TV has Dolby Atmos built into its speakers, supposedly, and you could hear panning effects, you know, that sounded like some of them, particularly like the monkeys flying. You know, you would hear them on the left side of the screen, and sometimes it would sound like it was going above my TV screen and then over, but other than that, I can't really say much about it. Now, I'm not sure how many of you will be able to use this app for streaming 3D, because as far as I know, there's only 2 ways you can do it. And correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but as far as I know, the only way to stream 3D movies from Fandango at Home is to download the app built into your TV. So if you have a smart TV, a smart 3D TV, you should be able to do it from there like I did. Both of my 3D TVs can do that. As far as Xbox and PlayStation goes, it won't work. I've tried it with my PS4 Pro and my Xbox Series S, no, sorry, Xbox One S and One X. All 3 of those consoles were able to play 3D Blu-rays, but for some reason you can't stream the 3D movies from Fandango at Home on those. I think the only console that will let you is the PlayStation 3. If I'm not mistaken, the PlayStation 3, if you have Fandango at Home on that, you'll be able to stream it from the 3D app on the console, which could be a better alternative to streaming it from your TV, because you can connect the PlayStation 3 to your surround sound receiver and that into your TV, and it should have better sound than if you were to just connect your TV directly to like the ARC of your or connect your surround sound system into the ARC HDMI input. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got, folks. Thanks for watching. Like I said, Wicked, it's a great movie, at least in my opinion it was, and the 3D was spectacular. It'll be a shame if we don't get an official 3D Blu-ray release for it, since it is from Universal Pictures. There might be a chance, because I've noticed that Turbine, the company that's based out of Germany, they've been putting out a lot of 3D Blu-rays lately, and quite a few of them are from Universal Pictures. I believe they've got Minions, they've got Jurassic World Domination, I can't remember some of the others, but anyway, there is a chance that we might get it, hopefully, crossing my fingers, because it'd be a shame if we didn't. This is fantastic. It's a must-have. So if you are a supporter of 3D and you're able to, I highly encourage you to buy it off of Fandango at Home. It gives you a 2D/3D bundle. The 2D version is not 4K, unfortunately, it's 1080p, but still, it's pretty nice to have, and it's $19.99 for that bundle. And that being said, have a nice day, everybody. I look forward to doing another review for you later. I'm going to try to do the Super Mario Brothers movie in 3D. Talk to you next time. Bye.